Brought to you by Penguin.
Competition is Killing Us by Michelle Meagher. Read by Shaheen Khan.
Introduction. Debunking the myths of competition. We live in a time of big companies. Ever since the privilege of forming a company was first granted, there have been private organizations with the power and backing of nations, and they have wielded that power across the globe. Now it seems as if an ever-dwindling roster of companies, in big food, big tech, big pharma, have a say in how our economy works and for whom, and the shadow of that influence reaches deep into our personal lives and stretches out before us into the unfolding path of our shared future. In 2004, when Google went public on the stock market, it was valued at what seemed at the time to be an impossible $23 billion. 10 years later, it was worth $390 billion. In 2018, it was worth $766 billion. Amazon is now worth over $1 trillion. There is no need to assume sinister intentions on the part of company founders, executives, investors, lenders, or any of those that stand to benefit financially from the dazzling ascent of our biggest companies, before questioning whether it is right that such capital, power and influence should be concentrated in the hands of so few individuals. Facebook, for example, is technically a publicly owned company, but it is effectively controlled by one human being, Mark Zuckerberg, who has the deciding vote on all decisions made by one of the biggest and most powerful companies in the world. Free markets are, in theory, constrained by democratic process. But where is the economic democracy capable of holding the unfathomable power of today's industry titans to account? The answer is, there is very little that big companies are not able to do, and we have relinquished the tools that were once designed to enclose them. It turns out that we have been systematically ignoring the power that readily accumulates in so-called free markets, and this simple oversight is responsible for untold economic grief. We have ended up with rising levels of power held by a few companies in key industries, moulding entire markets in their image. Until we change how these corporations operate and for whom, our smartphone manufacturers will continue to clear pristine forests in the hunt for precious metals to line consumer gadgets designed for the rubbish heap, and workers will continue to be exploited in the ironically named fulfillment centers of online shopping giants. We do alarmingly little to challenge corporate abuse, deterred by entrenched commercial and intellectual forces that continue to advocate regulatory inertia. The ideas and the power calcify, creating a cage from which we have failed to break free, because we are unable even to see that it is there. The hidden waste of efficient free markets. Competition is the rivalry between suppliers in the market as they strive to get consumers to buy from them. Footnote. I could not avoid using the word competition in a book about competition, but its meaning is not straightforward. Please refer to the glossary at the back of the book for guidance on this and other troublesome words used throughout this book. End of footnote. Competitive markets are exalted for bringing consumers cheap products and plenty of them. It seems a small leap to assume that a competitive market is one with lots of suppliers competing. That must be what politicians mean when they say we should have a competitive economy, right? Possibly. As this book will show, competition is often in the eye of the beholder. It can mean many small rivals competing, or it can mean a few companies in fierce contest. It can mean a market with lots of choices, or it can mean one company heralded as the most competitive of all. Generally, this is the competitiveness politicians have in mind. We can all agree that competition is good precisely because we all meet.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?